Hey everybody, my name is Andrew Smith. I am from the world.
My name is Nicole. I'm from San Francisco, California.
And we're here today in London in 2014, teaching a workshop on switching and conversational dance.
So the first class that we did talked about switch dancing, the idea of having both people dance lead and follow, and switching between those roles in a single dance.
We like to define leading as being the person that arrives at the movement first.
And conversely, the followers arriving at the movement afterwards.
As part of that, we think that discussions about tone and toning up or toning down, that all of that sort of falls within this general vicinity of thinking about arriving at that movement first.
Yep. So we practiced that. We talked about some gender-neutral dance holds, closed position in particular. We're both doing the same thing, so either of us is in the lead and the follow position at the same time. Really great way to delve into switch dancing.
We then talked about the philosophy of when to switch. Both the idea of taking the lead and of giving the lead are valid, and they work for different reasons and different kinds of music. We like to favor the philosophy of taking the lead so that you are inspired to take it as a leader, to inspire to bring movement to the dance.
Then we talked about some ideas to keep the switches fluid, the idea of listening to the thing that your partner has set up, movement or the direction or whatever, and carrying that through as you're making your lead song.
We then talked about how to link it to the music and have that be the transitional smoothness. So we discussed phrases, making a big shift and switch at the end of a phrase, or making smaller switches in the middle of a phrase with like the lines of the music, or possibly just switching in response to different elements of the music, a call and response that's appearing in the song.
We also talked about things like switching based on the energy of the song. Maybe one person leads when it's really quiet and small, and the other person is feeling big and leads those bits. Also the idea of interjections, just kind of momentarily jumping in, doing something as a lead, and then letting it slide back to the other person.
I think that covers it for the switch class. Great. So moving on to our second class, which was conversational dancing. This is where the lead and follow roles do not change, but both lead and follow are actively contributing to the dance and actually having a two-way dialogue in the dance.
We started with the idea of initiating and responding as being two things that we do entirely in our own body that don't affect our partner. They're either jumping in with a new idea, initiating, again, in our own body, jumping in with that idea, or responding in our own bodies to something that we have noticed our partner doing. Initiating and responding. Again, totally about the stuff, about just dancing in your own body.
We talked and focused a lot on the idea of being connected to your partner, feeling where they are in space, but not have lead and follow occurring. So that we can both move around without actually physically moving each other. We are just dancing in our own bodies, but still feeling each other.
Yep. Adding on to that, we find leading and following as having the intention to move your partner through space, and following, allowing your body to be moved through space. So, perpendicular to the idea of initiating and responding.
We then did a lot of building for encouraging follows to speak up, play with different levels of the music. We covered things like levels, size, speed, rhythms, direction, rotation, texture. The list goes on and on.
Then we talked briefly about the idea of open and closed-ended leading. That leads can either leave lots of space for their follows to speak up, or have a very specific idea of what they want to do, close up their lead by doing things like having more intention and engaging their core and leading something very specific. So both are totally valid, both super useful in conversational dance.
And then we opened it up to be fully conversational, allowing both roles to fluidly move between initiating and responding, while still maintaining the role of lead and follow, again playing with different layers and making it an actual dialogue in the dance.
So this was the Switching and Conversational Dance Workshop here in London in 2014. I'm Nicole from San Francisco.
And I'm Andrew Smith from the world.
Thank you all.
Hooray!